back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and I love New York City. Here's one thing I don't like about New York City. Getting there.
Oh.
And specifically, okay, a side note, you're going to go to New York City, take the train. Here's the real quick hint. You take the train, you're right into Penn Station in the middle of the city. Done.
Nice.
Right? You don't have to worry about anything else. We're going to talk about New York City in this minute and in the next minute because I have a couple things to say. But here's the thing. When you drive into New York City, coming across maybe like the George Washington Bridge or Lincoln Tunnel, whatever, if you go at the wrong time of day, let me tell you what happens. A trip that normally should take you 5 minutes will take 5 hours. It's hideous. Yeah. And I'll never forget, there was one trip we took, I think like 2 summers ago. We did a little early college tour with my daughter. And yeah, we got stuck getting into the city, and it was a good 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Just driving from the moment of hit traffic to inside the city.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I spent a couple days in New York too, and we did the same. My family's in Pennsylvania. So we drove in too, and I had the same thing, just go in the tunnel, and it was like, oh, now I get it. I now understand what Jon Stewart was talking about all those years on The Daily Show.
Oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's weird. Like, the couple things I remember about New York, that is one of the ones I remember is that hellacious traffic getting in.
Now, I bring all this up because there is something that's going to happen near the end of this minute that I have a little bit of a fault with.
Oh.
Because if you did what 2 of our characters do, you would be killed.
Yes. Yeah.
So we will talk about that.
Right. So here we are at minute 72 of 2008. 72 of The Incredible Hulk by Louis Leterrier from 2008. So we pick up where we left off, which is riding in the truck. There's the 2 scientists are continuing to have a scientific conversation about this and staying scientific until all of a sudden it doesn't. Where we left off is that Betty was trying to put forth a supposition that perhaps the Hulk was actually Bruce, just a different version of him, just down deep it was him. And so she's trying to prove her point.
And that the Hulk could be controlled.
Yes, and so like she's finishing her sentence, which is, she says, I felt like it knew me, like the big thing, like this big green guy. Maybe your mind is in there and is overcharged and can't process what's happening.
Oh.
So, I think you made this point, I think, when we were off mic, that what a very Ross thing to think.
Well, that right? No, I mean, absolutely. Yes. That there's more. Yeah. Oh, no, you can control it. But, of course, then Bruce immediately
shuts it down. Yeah. He says, I don't want to control it. I want to get rid of it.
Silence.
And then it's like, okay, I guess the conversation's over then. I guess I'll just continue driving.
Little awkward pause, and I will...
Super awkward silence.
Yeah.
It actually reminded me, one of my favorite bits from late night last couple of years was Craig Ferguson used to do this thing on when he was hosting the Late Late Show before James Corden took it over. It was called, basically he said, would you like to do an awkward silence? And they would say, sure. And so it would be him and a celebrity would just sit there awkwardly for a couple minutes of just dead silence. It's like on major network television for a talk show, they would just have complete, utter silence.
And it was always great because...
It was one of the funniest things I ever saw.
They perfectly, like, depending on who the guest was, they always played along in different ways. Like, where the eye contact, and then the sort of, like, just look around the room, maybe look at their shoe. Mm-hmm. What's do I have water? Oh, yeah.
I remember there was one where the person always... did a motion like they were going to start talking.
Yes.
Lean forward, leave mouth open, and then just like stop themselves. Yeah.
No, that was great. Oh,
it's great. Yeah. I hope that stuff lives on YouTube because they were some of the funniest bits.
If you don't know who that, definitely check those out. Anything with Craig Ferguson of the Late Late Show was it with Jeff.
Unsung hero of late night.
No, absolutely. Totally. Yes.
But meanwhile, back at the military base, we have there's 3 performances that need to be singled out in this scene, and that's Ross, Blonsky, and whoever did the CG on Tim Roth. Because that's not his body.
Are we talking about CG or are we talking about a little
CG?
Oh, it's not airbrushing?
Yeah. No, it's not airbrushing. No, they actually CG'd over. So like it's Tim Roth was really standing there, but everything from like mid-neck down is like all digitally sculpted.
From clavicle down, it's not him.
Yeah. When they do a close-up, it is really him.
Right.
Because they you say clavicle's about where the camera stops, but everything from there on down is ROCG. And part of it is like because they're already starting the transformation. You can see the I don't know, sort of almost reptilian sort of stripes across
right?
him.
I mean, and it's very clear though that it's not. It's one of those little mismatches.
This was in the exactly in the commentary. They sort of make jokes about this, about like how long did you work out for this? He's like, oh, I didn't need to.
Yeah.
I went to the bread truck every day. And it was,
right.
And basically, they're on it, and then so Blonsky says, let's even the playing field a little, right. Which I thought was interesting. So I actually looked up the history of that too. So that's not exactly a phrase. It's actually leveled the playing field, but I guess the English version is sort of even the playing field. It seems to be what it seems to be from rugby.
Sure.
Like that's what it originally came from, is like make sure that the field is, because if you're playing rugby and one side of the field is more slanted than the other, then the ball will tend to roll towards the goal more. Then we cut to a shot of the Apache helicopter that we saw exploding from the fight at Culver University. But this time we're seeing it from the Hulk's point of view.
And it's pretty detailed.
Yeah, I know. You see like all the flaming wreckage coming right at him. So like, if he looked down, he would see Betty right there.
Right.
Because he's about to cover her with his body as this thing comes flying down at him. But then, of course, that causes him to wake up, and it's, Bruce is actually having one of those flashbacks that we talked about in minute 71. This is one of those little acid flashbacks that he gets from the Hulk.
Okay, but we've slowed it down and we've looked at it frame by frame.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting in that you can clearly tell it's the fuselage of the helicopter.
Yeah, it's definitely like the tail section.
Right. But I love the effect of the final thing you see coming to him before it cuts to him waking up is the rotor, the engine rotor. And the effect that it makes it looks like an eye. So it's literally like he came eye to eye with this wall of flame. I thought that was really cool. That was a really nice composition of not only just the digital effect, but then tying into him peering into he's peering into the eye of the beast. That's what the memory and the nightmare sequence is basically telling him.
Yeah,
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, so, and really great fire effects.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like fire sometimes can be really hard to do. We've all seen really fake CG fire, but this is like really good. So Bruce wakes up and the truck has stopped. So he's trying to figure out what's going on. So he looks up and he's like, "What are we doing in Canada?" No, that's not what he said. Yeah. But that's what's going on.
That's where they are.
So this roadblock thing was shot at Lakeshore Boulevard East between Cherry and Don. Shout out to Toronto.
There you go.
They made this whole thing to look like it was, I guess, Jersey? Is that where we're supposed to be coming from?
Because the signage is the tunnel entrance, toll ahead. I mean, this is all the stuff you'd see. Easy Pass. I mean, everything, even just the prices. The cars are $6, trucks $6 and up.
So everything you see that's like that, all those signs, that's all set dressing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So shout out to production design, because they actually brought all those signs to Canada
right.
and hung them in this underpass to make it look like it was, a Jersey Turnpike.
And I'll tell you,
they're headed to New York.
Having driven that road, I mean, yes, if you really look at it carefully, you'd kind of realize it.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, for a casual person who's been there once or twice, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, so you would never think that this was like a Canadian street.
Exactly.
So shout out to moviemaps.org. They have some good information that I pulled from this. According to them, also in this area, maybe not directly in this spot, but around this surrounding area, they actually shot some stuff for Orphan Black. And for Shape of Water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, both those shot in Toronto, and so right in the same kind of area.
That isn't I love that movie. That was more of a lesson, that movie was filmed in a real place instead of not in the recesses of someone's twisted mind. Sorry.
Yeah, it actually was not filmed in Guillermo del Toro's head. It was actually filmed in Canada.
Boy. Interesting. But they do a great job on this. And even like the shot where you can see them looking ahead and you can see the New York City police cars and everything. I mean, obviously stuff that's movie props and movie dressing for all that. But
now, did you get any impression that this was Jersey cops just causing a problem? Or do you think they were actually like stopping cars looking for a fugitive? I mean, did you get the impression that they were looking for Bruce? Or do you think it's just like, stuff happens in New Jersey. What are you going to do?
No, I got the impression they're looking for him.
You think so? You think it's a checkpoint?
Because there's a ton. First of all, they're breaking it down. They're bottlenecking it. Mm-hmm. And if you look, I count actually in the one full shot, there's at least 7 cops. So I mean,
maybe
this is
Chris
not.
Christie just wanted to go to the beach.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't know.
That's a bit of a deep cut politically.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, but
It's also forward and backward. It's like
yeah,
we're
that's
wouldn't be
true.
at the right
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah, it really would be. I got the impression that because we've seen in that previous and a few minutes ago, we've seen that they're onto the Mr. Blue,
right,
and so they know where he
right.
is.
They know where he's
so
going.
I got this as that. Yeah, oh no, they're looking for
New
him.
York's an island, so they got to block the ways. So Bruce has dealt with these kind of things in the past, and so he gives some advice. He says, "Walk towards the back, just don't move too fast." So basically, we're gonna get out. We're gonna like walk really casually, and it's like there's no way you're gonna be casual about like just abandoning your car in the middle of a traffic jam, like
Because this is my point.
Yeah.
When I talked about going into New York City, if you were in the traffic and you knew it's 3-4 hour wait, right?
Sure.
If people just flat out got out of their vehicle, let me just say something to you. Those people would be chased down. Probably half the people in the cars going to New York City have either a baseball bat, a slapjack, or a crowbar. And let me tell you, you ain't just slinking away from your car, especially not that car. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't happen at all. Like, everyone just goes, look at these guys. No, these guys are taking off. What's happening?
At least throw your hazards on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what are you gonna do?
Well, then it's drawing attention.
It's a 1977 Ford 100. What are you gonna do?
No, this was I was like, okay, I get it, but this seemed like a little bit of a plot device that didn't work. But that's okay.
So they hop out, and then we see them just casually walking along a bridge, like you do.
Yeah.
And that's where we can see where they're walking to, because that's where the minute comes.
Yeah, that's where it ends. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty small. Like a awkward silence. We have a little bit of movement towards Blonsky, moving towards where he's inevitably going to end up, and then traffic.
Yeah, traffic, and we're getting away somehow. So we'll see what happens.
So like it's once again it's the slow crawl in Act 3 as we're trying to get to the final confrontation. Like
that it is.
Come on, pick
now,
it up, fellas.
If you like discussing slow crawls, you know where a great place to do that is?
Would it be on Discord?
Discord would be one of the places, I think, a prime place to do that.
And hey, wouldn't it be great if we had our own Discord?
Oh, wow.
That we could talk about next reel stuff?
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Wait, hold on.
What?
We do have that.
We do?
Yeah.
Next thing you're going to tell me is we have our own dedicated Marvel Movie Minute channel.
Well, we kind of do, yeah, actually.
We have those too?
Yeah. Usually.
Why hasn't everybody jumped onto this by now?
Exactly. You have direct access to us.
Do you happen to know, is there a super easy URL I could use to try and find where that is?
I think it's the next reel, thenextreel.com.
Is it thenextreel.com/Discord?
Oh yeah. Screw that up.
I was trying to volley to you.
It's thenextreel.com.
You've heard this as many times as
I'm so not used to doing the ends.
I know, it was fun. It was super fun. Yeah. So you want to keep this in, or do you want?
Oh, absolutely. This is totally staying in. No, I'm a doofus.
Shout out to everybody on the Discord.
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening. We'll be back here for minute 73 to find out what's the other end of that bridge. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.